It was a dull autumn morning at the island of Sodor, and Thomas the Tank Engine was feeling rather under the weather. His pistons ached and he wouldn't stop complaining. "I'm overworked," he complained to his faithful coaches Annie and Clarabelle. "The fat controller's been putting too much strain on my buffers lately."
"It's only because he trusts you with the extra work,"
replied Annie.
"You're usually so eager to help out. And besides," added Clarabelle, "it's only temporary. Once the bridge up at Dryall's been repaired, Bertie will be able to see passengers again."
Recently there had been a storm on the island. A fallen tree had damaged the bridge. Scaffold and tarpaulin had been set up so that the workmen could mend it. But this meant, on top of extra passengers, Thomas had to travel a different way between the junction and Dryall. "If only I could use my usual route," Thomas thought defiantly. "Then the extra passengers wouldn't be such a hassle."
"Thomas!"
exclaimed Annie.
"You know you can't do that. It wouldn't be safe to travel under an out-of-order bridge."
I know. I just can't handle all this extra work right now.
Choo!
I think I'm coming down with a bit of a cold," Thomas finished, now rather disgruntled. It was almost midday, and the weather still hadn't improved. Nevertheless, he continued on his way until he reached the next station. Percy was there, and he didn't look happy either. "What's up with you?" Thomas queried, trying to sound cheery in spite of the soot blocking up his nose.
"Daisy refused to take the milk this morning,"
Percy replied sharply.
"Apparently rainwater is bad for her swerves. I don't know how she manages to get away with such a poor excuse so often. Anyway, I've been told it needs to be added to my train," Percy scoffed. "Oh, as if it weren't long enough already."
"Can't Toby take it?"
"Toby's helping the workmen repair their bridge."
"Fair enough.
At least you haven't got to make extra runs just to account for Bertie's passengers."
Percy laughed.
"At least I haven't got a dreadful cold. What you need is a scarf, perhaps?" "Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Hey!
"See you later, Percy. Have fun with the milk vans." It was now raining very heavily, which of course did not help his current mood.
"Come along, we're rather late. Come along, we're rather late."
We're coming along, replied the coaches.
"We've plenty of time."
No, we don't.
No, we don't. And we'll be at the junction any minute."
Further up the line, Toby and a crane were helping to mend the bridge. However, the rain was so heavy that it was too dangerous for the men to continue working. The scaffold was slippery, and they could barely see what they were doing. "Come on then," called out a foreman. "Let's pack up for the day." The workmen filed into Henrietta. Toby rang his bell, and he set off back to Dryall. A few minutes later, he saw Thomas through the rain up ahead.
"Hello there, Thomas."
Thomas didn't hear. He was too busy sneezing and worrying about being late. Toby looked puzzled.
"I wonder what's up with him."
Thomas still wasn't paying attention when he reached the signal box just before the bridge. Thomas knew that he'd have to ask the signalman to change the points. But he was so distracted that he didn't realise he'd already passed the junction until it was too late.
"The bridge is out of order."
"The bridge?" Thomas crashed straight into the scaffold. The tarpaulin tore, and all the water that had built up poured down all over him. Luckily, no one was hurt. Percy arrived just in time to hear Thomas shout, "Botheration!" Percy couldn't help but laugh.
"You're soaked. So are you. It is
It is raining after all."
"Yeah, but I'm not caught in leaves and dirt as well as rainwater." "I know I said you were under the weather.
but this isn't what I meant. Thomas sighed, but he couldn't help but laugh. Right then, Percy. There's a crane over there. Would you mind helping me out? I am running quite late now. I'll fetch you a scarf while I'm at it, Percy chuckled. And despite the day's trials and tribulations, the two engines felt